Shalom, call all y'all Bashim Yahushua. Says super soldiers and AI generals. AI, I think that's like something to do with technology, but it says top space force. Scientist says Pentagon must adopt human augmentation tech to beat out adversaries. Let's see what augmentation, whatever that is. It says can be described as the natural, artificial, or technological alteration of the human body in order to enhance physical or mental capabilities. And what's we can already see where that's coming from through the spirit. Yeah, that's that thing. It says the gradual merger of man and machine is not only inevitable but imperative. Hey, that thing right there. It say in the Pentagon's drive to outdo U.S. adversaries, the Space Force top scientist said, hailing a new era of human augmentation and military tech. And we just got the definition of human augmentation. That's when they're gonna try to put that thing in you, in the soldiers too. It says at the event hosted by the Air Force Research Laboratory on Wednesday. So going back to this, it says the gradual merger, and that great that term right there, what the brothers always go into, gradualism. It says the gradual merger of man and machine. So this is being introduced through gradualism. Man and machine. It says it's inevitable, and it's inevitable because it's prophecy. But then also, on the left hand side, it says it's imperative. So they're pushing for this. It says on Wednesday, Dr. Joel Mazur, chief scientist for Space Force, said superhuman technologies are on the horizon, insisting the U.S. cannot afford to lag in this area. So they pushing for this, man. All right. And, through the spirit, we already know this is going to, again. It says brain hacking, freezing time, weaponized insects, meet U.S. military's dystopian plans. Superhuman. It says Microsoft lands $21 billion contract to arm U.S. soldiers with futuristic augmented reality headsets. And you probably to control these things, you're gonna need that thing. All right. So this is let's get a few precepts. All right. So we'll start with 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his devices because we see through it, through the spirit, man. We know where this is going. And this is Proverbs 22:3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, and a prudent man is a man that's in his truth. It says foreseeth, so see before, foreseeth the evil, A prudent man will see the evil before it happens. And it says, and hideth himself. He hides himself in this truth. It says, but the simple pass on and are punished. They don't, they're willingly ignorant to the things that are going on, current events and stuff like that. And first and foremost, they're willingly ignorant to this truth. All right. And this is Revelation chapter 12. This is what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the rest of the heathen, on down to the rest of the heathen, are preparing for. It said, going back to that article, it said super soldiers and AI generals, top space force. So that's the U.S. It says says Pentagon must adopt human augmentation tech to beat out adversaries. So the U.S. against everybody else. That's what the U.S. is looking for. So we know U.S. Slocky. The U.S. is just another Edomites basically, as well as Russia and so on and so forth. But this is Revelation 12:7. This is what Esau Edom is preparing for. It said adversaries, but we know that they're preparing to go up against Hamashiach Yahushua, which they're going to fail at terribly. It says, and there was war in heaven. You know, that's why they got their space force, and they're trying to do these human augmentation things. And this pushing that thing. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon being Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says, and the dragon fought and his angels. So the dragon fought with his angels. So those that are on his side, being the rest of the heathen, and 2/3. It says, and prevailed not, so they did not win. It says, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Because, their space stations, their spaceships, they satellites, all that shit's going to be, taken out. It says, and the great dragon was cast out. And it says that great dragon, you go into the meaning of the word dragon, it goes back to Draco, draconian laws. And that's all Esau Edom pushes is draconian laws, strict, severe laws. It says, and that dragon was cast out, that old serpent. Going back to the garden, it says, called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. The whole time Esau Edom, the so-called white man, got everybody thinking that he's this great and angelic being. And hold on. So it says, and no marvel, for Satan himself transformed into an angel of light. Let me see. It says, for such as are false apostles, deceitful workers, and that's chiefly Esau Edom, transforming themselves into apostles of Hamashiach. And they did this by, iconoclasm, painting over the images and deceiving the world, and pushing forth, so-called white supremacy. It says, and no marvel, for Satan himself and his counterpart physically is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says himself is transformed into an angel of light. That's what the world takes him as. The world takes him as that, but us of the hopeful elect, we have this truth through the Spirit. All right. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength. It says, and Satan, which deceived the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And Esau Edom did this continually. Let me see. Yeah, right here, Psalm 50 and 20, it says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, who is Jacob, Yasharallah, prince of the power. It says, thou slanderest thine own mother's son, because Esau is Jacob's brother. And, he slanders us constantly by, setting traps and, pointing the finger like, yeah, look what he's doing, But he's not going to prevail, as we got in Revelation 12. All right. So Lord willing, that was edifying. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shalom.